Star Wars Episode 7, The Third Secret Death Star, by JOHNNY SPACEBOOTS. Chapter 1, A Bad Fold. Alto from Macross was having sex with Cheryl in the cockpit of his Macross Gundam. She said, "Hitat was good, Alto." And he said, "Ipu are good too, Sherik." And then Crewman entered from his sleeping and said, "We are needed at the bridge." And so they got out of the cockpit and put their clothes on. They ran IP 29 for kites of stairs to enter the command bridge. Alto said, "What is the problem, Captain Glovel?" Captain Clovel said, "We are entering Big Fold Wave," and Pit Crew and Catherine said, "No, the wave is too huge. We will all die into pieces." Macross Frontier entered Fold Wave and came out in the Galax to where the Star Wars movies took place. Meanwhile, on Third Secret Death Star, General Grievous came back from the dead with dark-sided force powers. Emperor's Ghost said, "General, take Darth Vader's place and take his armor so that you are Darth Vader again." And General said, "How will I fit in his armor, my liege?" And Emperor said, "I will use the Force and make you fit it and give you the Force." So General Grievous became Darth Grievous. Chapter 2, The Secret Third Death Star. Everyone in Macross was afraid and scared because the Fold Wave was really huge and they were sad that they might all be dead. They came out in the galaxy with Star Wars in it and were okay. Catherine said, "We are not dead. What do we do now?" And Ozma said, "Don't worry, baby. I will protect you from ever dying." And Captain Glovel said, "What is that? A small moon?" Alto said, "That moon is not a moon. That moon is a space station." Death Star saw them and straighted to prepare laser, but the laser wasn't ready, so Macross escaped. Grievous said, "I have failed, Demaster. The Ui have escaped." And Emperor's Ghost said, "Don't worry, it is all according to the plan. Now the rebels will come and it will be a trap." Chapter 3, Jedi Forces. Then, Luke Skywalker called them on the computer screen because Luke could sense them in the Force. "This is Luke Skywalker, a Jedi Knight. Did you see the Empire yet? They have escaped again." And Alto said, "We saw their Death Star and escaped." Then Luke said, "We blew up the Death Star already and had to party already." And Catherine said, "No, there is a secret third Death Star." And Luke said, "You must help us kill the last Death Star." And Captain Glovel said, "Okay, Luke, we will help you." Luke and Han and Leia and Chewbacca and Lando came in the Millennium Falcon and Luke's X-Wing. And Admiral Akbar came too in the cruiser with the Rebels' fleet. The Admiral said, "What if this is another trap?" And Luke said, "I's nahist in the Force that we will win." And Lando said, "I hope you are right, and that way I can kick some ass." "We gotta get it moving, guys, or the Death Star will find us and kill us with its laser attacky," said Leia while Han drank space beer. They weren't into Macross Quarter to talk to the guys in the ship about Fig Ting the Third Secret Death Star. Then Ranka came into it and Sadie, "Guys, what about the songs? We can use them." And Lando said, "No, the Empire knows that the songs can't kill Hitem." And she was sad. And Cheryl was too because they couldn't help blow up the Third Secret Death Star. And Lando said, "It's okay, you will still be friends with us," because Lando saw Ranka and thought she was pretty. Then he said, "Do you like older black men at all?" Later, when they were outside the room, Ranka said, "No, but you are a cool guy, Lando. It is good that I am grown up now so that we can have sex together, maybe." And they laughed. But they couldn't yet because the Third Secret Death Star came. Chapter 4, The Laser Attack. "Fire the laser attack," said the Commandor Moff Tarkin, who was a cyborg because most of him was blown up in space from the first secret Death Star. General Grievous said, "Emperor's Ghost, we have them under fire." And he said, "Good, they will fall into the trap." Luke Force jumped into his X-Wing with a backflip over Lando's head, and then Lando and Han and Chewie got into the Millennium Falcon fast because the laser was coming. Then Alto said, "Luke Skywalker, you must attach your X-Wing to my Macross Gundam, and it will be a Super Macross Gundam." And they attached the plane's tog with her and flew out together. The laser attack was coming, and Luke said, how can we stop the laser attack before it hits the people inside of the Macross Frontier City? And Alto said, no time left. We have got to go in front of the laser. And they flew into the laser, and then the Super Macross Gundam blew up into a fireball, and Luke got burned. Chapter 5. The Death Star Kills. Alto's cockpit wasn't found, and Cheryl got sad and cried because she looved him and he was dead. Then Luke said, no, Alto is dead, what can we do now? And Ozma said, Luke, come here and fly my Macross Gundam, because Luke's ship got destroyed in the laser attack. And then Luke used the light side force to go into the Macross Gundam that Ozma had, and Ozma used his rocket pack to gare into the Macross water. And then Luke crashed into the third secret Death Star because he didn't know how to fly it because it was not his X-Wing ship. And then he died into a fire. Then Leia was sad with Cheryl because both of their friends died to save them. And then the rebels said he was our last hope to kill the Empire. And then the ghost of Yoda came and said that there is another Skywalker, his twin Leia. And Leia took Luke's extra lightsaber that he had on the ship and became me the second Jedi Knight when Yoda gave her the Force. And Han was flying the Millennium Falcon bad because he had a LaFo space spear before. And then Lando said, Han, let me fly because you had too much space spear today. And Han said, no, I can fly. But then Chewbacca took Han onto the space pod and took Han back to the Macross Kyoto ship. But then Grievous came in the TIE fighter and they blew up the space pod. Then he laughed and said, all your friends are dead from the laser attacks. But Lando said, I'll kill you, Darth Vader, because he didn't know that it was real to General Grievous in the Darth Vader armor suit. Then Leia, who is now a Jedi, came onto the Millennium Falcon, and this time they flew into the third secret Death Star. Chapter 6. The Ultimate Destruction. It couldn't be blown up in the middle of the Death Star like in the last Death Star, so they went into the control room where General Grievous went to after he landed. Ha ha ha! All of your fur nads and dead nad. There will be nothing to stop my evil plans and now. General Grievous said as he laughed evilly at Leia. We will see how has the last laugh, Vader, said Leia as she jumped up and did an air backflip in a circle, making a bib circle down on Grievous, but Grievous charged up and fired a force ball at the ceiling circle and made it blew up because he got the force from the Emperor's ghost, Jay. Now you are going to die, said Grievous, and he cut off her arms with 2 lightsabers. No! She screamed as her arms got cut off by Grievous with his 2 lightsabers while she screamed. But then a sniper shot took Grievous's helmet off and he said, curses, I have been revealed. And he ran off and Leia looked. And it was Michelle, but he was part robot because he was killed by Vadra and was bro back with cyborg parts. And then Mikaela said, God to meet you. I am Micaiah. And then she took him back to the Macross corner. And the whole crew said, Michelle, you're alive. And Mikhail said, I do not remember you. When I died, my memory was erased, and Clan was sad. But you are pretty anyway, he said to her, as she was happy again. Chapter 7. The Last Fig Tape. Leia said, Ag no, we forgot Lando on the secret third Death Star. Akbar said, don't worry, Lando can take care of himself. Tihai all prayed that the fiend would come back safe and not endangered. Now, Grievous, you will be dead just like you killed our friends, Lando said with an angry voice. Grievous said, I will destroy you. Lando took the lightsaber from Leia's hand that was now on the ground because it was cut off. They sword fighted and Lando was about to get killed because he was not a Jedi. He did good anyway because he was smooth like jazz musician. Grievous was about to stab Lando with a lightsaber but couldn't move because of force powers. He looked up and Darth Vader's ghost was using the force to stop the lightsaber. There was someone else with him who came through the door.
I am Darth Vader's brother, Johnny Vader. You shouldn't have taken our armor, General, because it is our armor.
Then Darth Vader's ghost used a new power called Force Fireball. It shot a huge fireball like in The Hobbit where Gandalf killed the goblins with Fireball. It blew Grievous' head up off and he was dead again. Then they got into Johnny's ship, which was like a TIE fighter, only bigger like the Millennium Falcon. They flew from the Death Star as it blew up from an error because they made the controls blow it up. Chapter 8. A Party at the End. Everyone was sad because their friends were dead, but happy that the evil was vanished. They all had a space beer together. Then Lando and Rika had sex with his penis. Lando licked Rank's Nipcles while Clan taught Michelle how to have sex because he forgot because he died. So him put his wiener in her vagina a lot before she had an orgasm. Meanwhile, Lando used his penis to give Ranka an orgasm because his penis was big because he was black. Meanwhile, Leia and Cheryl were sad because Heter lovers were dead. So they had sex with each other instead, so everyone was having sex in Hayop. The end.